All right, today we are diving into a really powerful idea from David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me. It's a concept that pretty much flips the script on what you think your limits are. You know that feeling when you are completely done? Well, what if that's just a story your mind is telling you? So let me just ask you straight up. What if that feeling of being totally drained, where you have nothing left to give, what if that's not actually the end? What if it's not even close? To really get into that, we first have to understand a little bit about how we're all wired. You see, to get this, you have to look at our own brains. Your brain's number one job, its main gig, is not to make you a superstar. Nope, its primary function is survival. And, well, that creates this really fascinating conflict for us today. And this right here, this illustrates the fundamental problem. Our ancient brain, our survival hardware, is basically programmed to seek out comfort and safety at all costs. But everything we actually want in life, I'm talking growth, improvement, learning new things, it demands the exact opposite. It means you have to step right into discomfort and struggle. So how does your brain try to win this fight? It uses a very familiar script, doesn't it? It whispers these excuses that, let's be honest, we've all heard in our own heads. It takes that raw desire to just avoid pain and turns it into what sounds like a perfectly rational reason to stop, to quit, and to just stay put. So what do? How do we fight back against this built-in safety feature? Well, this is where we get to this incredible mental model from Goggins himself, the 40% rule. And honestly, this idea can completely reframe what you think you're capable of. The rule itself is so simple, but it's really profound. What it suggests is that when your brain is just screaming at you to stop, when every part of you feels absolutely spent, you still have this huge reserve of untapped potential. You've got like 60% more in the tank. Just think about that number for a second, 40%. That's the wall that most of us hit and we turn around. But the key, the entire secret, is understanding that this isn't a real wall. It's a psychological barrier that your brain puts up way before you actually reach your physical or mental breaking point. So here's the most crucial point. That feeling of hitting your limit, it isn't usually a failure of your body or your mind. It's almost always just a mix of mental friction, feeling emotionally tired, and your brain's deep down instinct to protect you from what it thinks is danger, even when it's really just the discomfort that comes with growth. Okay, so knowing this stuff is one thing, but what do you actually do about it? This isn't about just ignoring your brain. It's about consciously training it, teaching it to have a totally different response to struggle. It's about learning how to fight back. This is the absolute core philosophy here. You can't just wish your way to mental toughness. Just like any other muscle in your body, your mind has to be built. It has to be built through deliberate, consistent practice. You have to intentionally put it under stress so that it can grow stronger. And this is what that training actually looks like. It means you choose to do things that are difficult. It means when you start something, you actually see it through to the end. It means when that little voice starts telling you to quit, you just pause, and you stay with that uncomfortable feeling for just a little bit longer. You're teaching your brain that you are in charge. This part is so important. Real, unshakable confidence, it doesn't come from motivation or some hype video. It's built on a stack of cold, hard evidence. Every single time you push past one of those fake stop signs your brain throws up, you create another piece of proof that you are way more capable than your feelings might suggest. Now look, this is not just for elite athletes or Navy SEALs. The real power of this rule is how it applies to our regular, everyday challenges, from our jobs to our personal goals. Let's just look at a few common scenarios. This table just lays it out perfectly. Our brain gives us the easy way out, right? I can't. But when you learn how to translate that, you see what's really going on underneath. It's not about inability. It's about a desire to get away from discomfort, whether that's the burn in your muscles, mental fatigue from studying, or just the fear of falling flat on your face. But of course, there is a huge critical disclaimer here. This is not about being reckless. The real skill is learning to tell the difference between productive discomfort, the kind that signals you're growing, and the signs of actual danger or injury. One is a signal to push forward, the other is a signal to stop and be smart about it. Look, if you only take one thing away from all of this, let it be this right here. Your brain's default setting is to slam on the brakes way too soon. Just recognizing that this governor on your potential is mostly in your head, not in your body, that's the first step to finally overriding it. So the next time you feel that pull, that urge to quit,
The next time you hear that voice in your head saying, I can't, just pause for a second and ask yourself this one simple, powerful question. Because just asking it, that can be the difference between staying at 40% and discovering everything that lies beyond.